at all. So I sat there and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And that's sad because at the age of 30, I finally gave my mom a genuine hug. And she's in a casket. I'm not proud of the way that I treated her, but I was mad and I was lied to. And for that, I feel like I was taken away from me. And because my aunt didn't call and tell me that she was sick, you took me being able to say goodbye away from me too. I feel robbed of a relationship with her. I feel robbed of saying goodbye to her. I feel mad. I feel a lot. So I spent my little 2 hours. Then they get this preacher. Mind you, the casket was terrible. There was a stain on the side of it. My mom, it was not something respectful. As a Católica and as a Latina, we're like respect. That is number one. And it was not respectful at all. They got some preacher. I don't know where the fuck they got him from. My uncle or some shit. He was like Nigerian or some shit. He knew nothing about my mom. He wasn't saying no scriptures from the Bible. We didn't do no Rosario, no Hail Mary, no nothing. And he kept repeating himself, and then you could barely understand him because his accent was so thick. So at that point, I just wanted to get my mom, and I just wanted to leave. But one thing about my mom is she was everybody's favorite. Everybody knew my mom. And when she passed, and at that funeral, when I say reuniting as a family happened, my brother seen his daughter that he hasn't seen in 10 years. My cousins that I haven't seen about 9 years, I seen. Cousins that I haven't seen in 20 years showed up. You know, it was just a big old... she brought everybody together. Like, I'm going to bring y'all together before I leave. So, then we had to pick out an urn. I contemplated for a long time on if I wanted to keep one home with me, if I wanted to, what I wanted to do. But we went ahead and got an urn, and I kept a small urn. And it's sad when this is all you got left of your mother. But if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But she got cremated. Next day they asked us to pick her up. They gave me the paperwork, and then I had to fly home with her. Not to mention get a funeral and burial service done here for her. So there I am on the plane with my bags, all her paperwork, and this box with my mom in it. And then I'm going to security, and they're like, what is it? And I'm like, it's my mom's remains. Can you be careful with it? Because I know they need to check it. So, one thing I can say is the lady was very understanding. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of it myself. So they took it out and they sent it through the machine. And they brought it back out the other side and put it back in the box. And she was like, I'm very, very sorry for your loss. It's like she had tears in her eyes. But to fly home with her on my lap, it was difficult because this is the longest time I spent with her alone in a long time. And I was coming for Christmas. So I wanted her just to hang on. But she couldn't, and I'm not mad at her. But I'm here, and I'm just on a plane with her, and I don't want to put her on the floor, and I don't want to put her up there. So I'm holding her and I'm talking to her in my head. Like the whole way home, I'm just talking to her. And it's still, my arms were so tired when I got home because the thing was it was probably about 45, 50 pounds. So it was like carrying a weight around all day. And then I had a layover in Vegas. So now I'm walking through the booking terminal in Vegas. And I'm like, Mom, there's lights. She liked the lights. And I said, there's lights, Mom. And I sat there for an hour and a half. And then I flew home. But my kids didn't know because I didn't want to tell them on the phone. So I didn't tell them on the phone. I told them that Grandma was sick. And I said, you know how you get sick and Mommy's got to take care of you? And they were like, yeah. I said, well, right now, Grandma's sick and Mommy's got to take care of her. So that they wouldn't know. So when I came home, I had to sit them down and I had to get myself together. And then I had to sit them down and tell them that their grandma was in this urn. And Jocelyn cried, but Jaden lost his marbles. That nigga went in his room and he cried like I've never seen my son cry before. And he cried all the next day. He cried himself to sleep. And now I have to be the strong one and I have to be the mom. And I'm hurting. But I have to be strong for them now. So the funeral was the next day. In the morning. And I got up and I put my suit on. And my friends were with me. And we started on our way here. Well, we had to stop and pick up a shovel. My cousins dug a hole about 5 feet down on top of my grandmother's grave. And the father came and some family members showed up and they gave my mom the respect that she deserved. He came and did a sermon, he did service, and he blessed her. He blessed the urn and he blessed the grave. And then we got mariachis. I got mariachis from my grandmother and I got mariachis from my mother. And they were very, very, very pretty. Here, I'll share something with you guys. It's funny that people look at me and they see so much strength and so much in me that I don't even see. Because when I say that with both of the strong women that I have in my life gone, it's almost scary to be out here with no parents at all. No father, no mother. That was the funeral. So eventually, it came time. This is the same father that buried my grandmother. That blessed her. Blessings of the Almighty God descend upon us all and remain with us forever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So trying to find the part. There it is. And even though their bodies lie in the earth, they trust that they like you will rise again. Give our sister Elma peaceful rest in his grave until the day when you, the resurrection of the life, will raise her up in glory. And may she see the light of your presence, Lord Jesus, in the kingdom where you live forever and ever. Amen. So that was me putting her, in there with my grandmother. And one thing I remember my mom saying is like, I want to come home. I want to go home back to Texas. And she said she wanted to be with her mom. So I brought my mama home and I put her with my mom. But at the end of the day, I didn't want nobody else. People say that I had to bury my mom today, or I had to do this today, or I had to do that today. You might have put her in the ground, but I buried my mom literally. I buried it. I closed her grave. So that's what this is. I think that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.